two been fighting?
No, certainly not.
No.
Next story.
SI.com. Russell gifted GP win after Verstappen and Norris brawl in Quicksand. Gauge William Creed.
2 to 3 minutes.
Spielberg, Austria. The Austrian Grand Prix took an unexpected turn today when championship leader Max Verstappen and McLaren's Lando Norris found themselves embroiled in a quicksand brawl, gifting Mercedes driver George Russell an unlikely victory.
The drama unfolded in the closing laps as Verstappen and Norris engaged in a wheel-to-wheel fight for the lead. In their pursuit of victory, both drivers pushed their limits a little too far, careening off the track and plunging into a quicksand trap at turn 3.
The scene quickly turned ugly as both drivers emerged from their rapidly sinking cars, tempers flaring, fists flying. Marshals desperately threw ropes to the stranded racers, who were now screaming at each other even as the quicksand threatened to engulf them. Both drivers seemed more interested in settling scores than saving their races. It was like watching two angry cats in a litter box, said one marshal, who donned the cowl of anonymous coward to speak freely.
Meanwhile, George Russell, running a distant third, found himself promoted to the lead. I saw the yellow flags and thought, oh, no, protesters on the track again, Russell said post-race. Then I drove by and saw Max trying to put Lando in a headlock while sinking into the mire. It was a bit surreal, really.
Russell went on to claim victory after a close battle with Oscar Piastri, the latter of whom seemed equally bemused by the turn of events. I was just focused on not ending up in the quicksand myself, Piastri commented, though I have to admit, the sight of Max and Lando mud wrestling was a bit distracting.
The feuding drivers were eventually extracted from the quicksand and whisked away in separate medical cars, though reports suggest their animosity continued unabated. They were still trying to swing at each other while being led away, one team member said disgustedly, and it's going to take days to get all that sand and muck out of their cars.
FIA officials are now deliberating on potential penalties for the duo, with options ranging from race bans to mandatory anger management classes. Some paddock insiders have suggested a more fitting punishment might be to just let them keep fighting. They can't really harm each other in all that race gear, chuckled a team principal. Bit like running your dogs hard, it will tire them out.
As the dust and sand settles on one of the most bizarre finishes in F1 history, one thing is clear. The Austrian Grand Prix will be remembered not only for its racing, but for its impromptu mud wrestling match. The quicksand, it seems, has claimed its first victims, two drivers' dignity.